Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm going to tell you about the application that I created. The name of the application is Automating Scheduling App. I was thinking of this as application like for college that allows students to book an appointment with teachers. And this application has three services: User Manager, Meeting Manager, and Notification Manager. Let's start with the User Manager. This service has three methods. We can add new user to our system, we can update his data and get list of all users that we have in our system. Let's check each of these methods in order. First method is add new user. As I said, we can just simply create new user. We need to specify his ID, his name, his email address, his phone number, and device ID. Then we click submit button. And that's it, we created new user in our system. And how we can check this? Again, we can go to the user manager and then we can invoke another method, get all users. And then we can see that this new user appear in this list. And the last method in this series is update user. So what we need, if we want to update some data that's related to some user, we can do this. We can specify his ID, and then we can say new name, and then we can put new email address, his new phone number, his new device ID. Then we click submit button, and we see that data was updated. And also, this service has some kind of his own database. If we stop this application and if we run this application again, all this data will be available, because every time we add new user or we change some data, every time we do this kind of operations, I store all of this data in the file. And when I start my application, this data is being read, and then I put this data in my class. So this was the first service, and let's check the second service. The second service is Meeting Manager, and this service allows students to book an appointment with the teacher that we have in our system. For example, let's say I want to create a new meeting. What I need to do, I need to select the teacher that I want to have an appointment with. Let's say I want to have an appointment with Mark Igushkin. We click select button. Then I need to specify date on which I want to have an appointment. Let's say I want to have an appointment tomorrow. At 1 o'clock. Okay, let's say I want to have a 3 o'clock. And then we click submit button. And that's it, we have new meeting in our system. And again, we can check this. We can invoke another method, get user meetings. I select myself, and I see that this meeting appear here. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, this person has a meeting. So it was two methods, and the last method is build reports method. This method just allows, it's like just make a report about meetings that we have in our system. Let's see an example. Firstly, we need to select users for which we want to build this report. Let's say I want to select these users, then I click submit button, and we see this report. We see that for users that we selected, we have 9 meetings in our system. And also we can see that mostly students prefer to have a meeting on Monday. So, and I believe that this statistic may be helpful for college or maybe for teachers. Maybe it will allow them to manage their time better. And also we see with which teacher students book an appointment more often. For example, we can see that 55% of all meetings were booked with Mark Ikushkin. So I believe this data, this statistic may be very helpful. So we looked at two services, and the last service is Notification Manager, because it's obvious when someone book an appointment with teacher, probably we just want to let know to this teacher that someone booked an appointment with him, and that's how it works. We click this manager, and then we can invoke this method, send email notification. Actually, I'm not sure. Firstly, I want to start with this method, change notification status. This method allows to change notification status of the person. So let's say some teacher doesn't want to receive any notifications, and he can do this. He can invoke this method, and he can choose his notification status. Let's say I want to turn notification on for myself, and then I click submit button. And that's it. Now I'm sure that someone will send notification to me. I will receive this. And we can now we can check this. We can select this method's email, send email notification. It's a bidirectional stream method. I want to select myself. And what I need to do, I need to enter email subject. Let's say appointment notification. It will be subject of the mail, and then enter message. Someone booked an appointment with you tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then I click submit button, and then I should receive this email. Yes, I can see this email in my Gmail. Someone booked an appointment with you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Appointment notification. So this service is the main idea of the service is to just send notifications to users that we have in our system. So I showed every service in my app, every method in my app, and now I want to show some features that I also implemented, some details. So also I want to tell about error handling in my app. For example, when user puts some invalid data, how our application is going to tell to the user that something went wrong and what he should correct to make this work. Firstly, I can show this with an example. Let's try to book an appointment with myself, and let's try to book an appointment in the past. And click submit button. So we can see an error message. The wrong date of the meeting was selected. You cannot book an appointment in the past. And now I want to show how it works in the code. So also I want to tell about error handling in my app. For example, when user puts some invalid data, how our application is going to tell to the user that something went wrong and what he should correct to make this work. Firstly, I can show this with an example. Let's try to book an appointment with myself, and let's try to book an appointment in the past. And click submit button. So we can see an error message. The wrong date of the meeting was selected. You cannot book an appointment in the past. And now I want to show how it works in the code. So error handling, how it works on the code side. Let's look at this example at meeting. So every time this method is invoked, I check if time for the meeting is less than time right now, and if it's true, I just throw an error, and I just have an error message: the wrong date of the meeting was selected. And after this, I have an exception handling controller that handles all the exceptions in my app. And what it does, it just simply print an exception message for the user. It just sends this message to the browser. And one more feature that I implemented in my app is authentication feature. So for example, if we created our services and if we put them online, if we make them available online, probably we don't want to allow everybody to have access to them. And that's why I created this authentication. How it works, I have two interceptors. I have client interceptor and server interceptor. So every time client sends requests to the server, firstly, this request will go through this method, through intercept call method. And what I do here, I just simply put some metadata to my call. I just add metadata login, which is equals to admin, and I put metadata password, which equals to 123. And I have another interceptor which works on the server side. It means every time some request reaches the server, firstly, it will go through this method. And what I do here, I just simply trying to retrieve login and password from headers, from metadata, and I check that they are valid. I check if login equals to admin and password equals to 123, and if it's not true, I just throw an error again, and I don't allow this user to invoke my method, to invoke my methods. Otherwise, if everything is okay, I just send the request to the method that it was firstly intended to. And I think that's it. I told you everything about my application. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.